We are still keeping it black on this channel, and we're going to be reviewing Ready to Love, the casting special. So this is where they go through each person, they introduce you. I would have wished it was a full episode. I don't know why these shows are doing these casting specials now. Like, make it an extra thing. Don't make that the premiere. But whatever. Let's go. One thing that I do like about the show, well, my cousin actually pointed it out, that each year they add a different element to make the show better. So the first year there were more girls than guys because that's how the dating scene is in Atlanta, right? Second year they did even amount of guys and girls to make it an even playing field. Third year, now they're in Houston, but it's a bubble. They're putting everybody in a bubble, and I really appreciate that because I feel like the reason why so many couples didn't work out is because you basically came on a show to do the same thing you were doing without being on the show. And clearly what they were doing off the show was not working. You date people while living your day-to-day life. It's hard to separate the things that you're going through in your real life from the experiment that you're going through. Therefore, some of the relationships aren't able to go as deep as they would if you had no distractions and you're just forced to get to know these people and you have no other choice but to talk to Michael, talk to Todd, talk to Jessica, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, once you're in a bubble, it's the Love Island effect. You're with them 24/7. You're gonna catch feelings, or at least have a very strong bond, or at least sleep with a couple people. We are starting off with Calfani. Listen, Calfine, okay? He's a beautiful man.
Competition, it doesn't faze me at all. Since I was a kid, I've been competing in video games. If you want to play tic-tac-toe, I'm going to compete against you, whatever it may be. I'm a competitor. If me and another guy like the same woman, I'm going to get him. I feel like conversation rules the nation.
He is a professional motivator, and sir, I could use some motivation. Baby, I'm going to be your motivation. Moving on. Rashid looks like a man who will treat you right.
I recently went into business for myself with my brokering service. It's a kind of a concierge service for luxury, high-end automotive. I'm super passionate about it. I love cars. It never feels like work when I'm doing it.
He is 2 years divorced, but guys, divorce doesn't always mean failure. Sometimes divorce just means incompatibility, which, again, I don't know how people don't understand how you're incompatible with somebody, like, before you marry them, but it is what it is. It happens. I think he's gonna be a good guy to whoever he chooses to, bond with, so I have high hopes for him. Brian is an education consultant. Again, another fine black man.
My passion is 100% working with the youth and building up the community. I have a daughter. Her name is Brinley Carroll, a.k.a. Baby Super Carroll. She's 3 years old. She is the most wonderful thing.
Listen, I could be a stepmama. I don't know if you're okay with having a young stepmama like me. I'm only 23. But I love kids. I feel like I could be a good stepmom for you kids. Joy is gorgeous, and that hair, baby.
I can make my mate laugh, I can cook, I'm smart, educated.
I have been single since I got divorced.
I was married for 3 years. Week 1 of my marriage, I called my pastor and was like, I made a mistake.
She called her pastor and was like, sir, that was a mistake. And I'm just like, again, how do you guys not understand the incompatibility before you commit to a legally binding agreement? I just feel like, do people not know how to date anymore? I feel like that's why I'm single. I feel like I'm single because I actually look too much into people, and I'm like, I already know we're not going to work. Because hello, everybody is just doing it for the sake of doing it, and I'm like, that is one thing I'm not gonna do, is waste my time. I know I'm only 23 and I speak like I'm 35 and I have like limited time or whatever people say, but nah, you're not gonna waste my time. I'm not gonna spend 3 years married to somebody just to end in divorce. No. Adriana is stunning, like stunning, but I feel like she's gonna be a problem.
I feel like guys already make assumptions when it comes to like pretty girls, but on top of that, saying that you're a cheerleader, and it's like, oh, well then you're just, dingy and you're just cute. You just stand there. That's it. And it's like, nah, like I'm actually probably smarter than you and probably work harder than you.
I'ma just watch out. That's all I gotta say. I'm just watch out. Alicia is a whole lot of woman.
I'm sexy the way I walk, the way I talk. I walk through a room or I can stare at a man and I own the room.
Hey, sir. How are you today, handsome? It's my eyes, and all my friends will tell you it's called my come me eyes. All I do is look at a man, and I instantly got him like that. I'm always dressed good. I'm always look good. I'm always smell good. And so, yes, I am fabulous.
Alicia's the type of woman who, like, whether you're male or female, if she walks into a room, she makes you want to, like, sit up and get your life together. You know what I'm saying? She has this presence of, like, act right when I'm around. And when she came on screen, I was like, oh, okay, hi, Alicia, you know? And girl, me and you were the same. She wants a big, tall, bald, bearded black man. What more could you ask for? Winter looks like an absolute sweetheart. I feel like she's going to be the belle of the show.
I consider myself very sexy. I am very proud of me being a sensual being. And I feel like sensuality is one of the gifts that the Creator gave me. And it can drive a man crazy.
The thing with Winter is she talks about having done marriage the right way. So people say, oh, you should find somebody in your church, find a godly man, stay celibate, blah, blah, blah. She did all of that, got married within the first month, y'all. He cheated on her with her homegirl. So this whole do marriage the right way, find a man in church, blase, blase, blah. Listen, these men in church be more doggish than some of these men outside. That's not everybody. But it's a good enough amount of people for that statement to just be canceled. Stop saying you're going to find a good man in church. No, you can find a good man in church. You also can find a good man in another church or another denomination even, if you're that open. I'm that open, so yeah. To me, as long as you love the Lord, y'all, just love Jesus and we good. David is hella country.
If you're looking for a city guy, that's not gonna be the one. You're gonna want a country guy, because I am the one that will mow your yard, fix your car, fix your house, something break, hey, I got it. I ain't gotta pay for it, because I know how to go in there and be the handyman and use my hands.
He talks about being cheated on multiple times and how that's developed some of the trust issues that he has. And man, I feel for him. I feel like as human beings, we've lost the finesse of how to treat other people. And we forget that, like, how you leave somebody is most likely how they're going to start with somebody else. Every relationship after that, you look at similar things that they do and you're already like, oh, this is going to be that, you know? And I feel for him because it's like, he looks like he's a nice person. He looks like he would treat you right. He looks like he's decent, but because of the trust issues that he might have, he might now be self-sabotaging whatever comes next. So he might be coupled up with a good person, but if she even gives any kind of repetitive behavior of things that he has seen before, it's a wrap. Jay looks very business savvy, but he might pick his work over his partner.
I think maybe in my marriage, I probably learned that there are some other important things I may have missed out on just because I was so focused on taking care of the household. I really was one of those type of people where once I kind of leave for the office, I plug in, I pick up, family life on the way home. So I learned that.
Nothing wrong with a successful black man. That's what we talk about all the time as black women. We're always like, he gotta be educated. He gotta be willing to, ride for the family and all these things. But if he is really, really focused on being educated and being that provider, he might miss the part of being the partner. Simone says she is sassy and aggressive, and where that works in her career, it might be detrimental in her dating life.
When I date, it's kind of like the way that I practice law. So you have a threshold question, right? Which is like the first thing you have to get past. My threshold question is, do I want to see you naked or not? If I don't want to see you naked, we cannot carry on. I feel like that attorney persona does bleed into my social life and my personal life.
Listen, I am an assertive black woman, so I understand. People tell me I'm aggressive all the time. I get it. But if you're at that age and you've acknowledged it within yourself, at what point do you relinquish that and say, okay, to some degree, I'm going to have to be a little softer. not to die to self or to, you know, compromise your character, but just to ease up a little bit on certain characteristics that might make it hard to form a genuine bond with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, still be assertive, still be who you are, like still stand your ground when you need to be, when you need to, but don't do it so much so you push people away, if that makes sense. Sam looks like your typical artsy black guy, and I'm skeptical.
In the past, I've had issues of looking at everything around me, right? Because I love beautiful women. What can I say?
He says he got his baby mama pregnant within a week of them dating. A week. A week, guys. I'm not having no baby with a man after knowing him for a week. I'm not having a baby with a man after knowing him for a year. Okay? Best believe that. Nope. Denise has only been in 3 relationships, one of them being abusive. And man, do I commend her for overcoming that.
I started to see I couldn't say anything. I couldn't go anywhere. I wasn't paying attention to the emotions and how he speaks. And then he struck. So I was blinded. I had to take the glasses off and really look at who you're dealing with and know that you want to deal with this person for the rest of your life or you want to get out of there.
She is a beautiful woman, but a woman with, you know, that kind of history is going to find it very hard to allow herself to love again. And I'm not saying that beauty equates love, but I'm saying, you know, in most cases, it's an easier run for people who are more aesthetically pleasing. So the fact that she's been in a physically abusive relationship in the past, it's gonna be a hard one to maneuver around, because these men gotta come correct and gentle. Not just gentle as in like don't touch me, but maybe even a guy who's a little too assertive might be a red flag for her, and that just might be his persona. But because of her past, it's always going to play a part in the partners that she picks. So I'm rooting for her. I root for all women who've been through domestic abuse, all men who've been through domestic abuse. Like, it's a tough thing to come out of, a tough thing to heal from, and I commend her for just even acknowledging that, like, she has been through that but doesn't want it to define her and is ready to open herself up to love. Now, Chris looks like he's about to waste your time.
My last real relationship, like totally monogamous, ended in 2012. It's really hard for me because I am a public figure. In my case, you don't know one's intentions. Do you really want to get to know Chris, or you just want the perks that come along with KG Smooth?
And as much as the Toronto people would call him, he looks like a waste man to me. He wants all things melanin, and we support a black man who wants a black girl. I mean, it's tough to find these days. So, hey, I support you, King. Danny was actually married before and left her relationship to really focus on her daughter. Now that her daughter is older, she feels like it's time to find love.
Raising her is the biggest blessing, my biggest accomplishment in my life. She's like everything to me. She's my best friend. And so, yeah, I'm doing this for her too, like, because this is nothing that I would ever do. She's looking at me now, and I have to be brave.
I love that she said, you know, as much as I want love, I have to be there for my daughter. I have to, you know, be the mother that she deserves and not just somebody who's bringing people in and out the house like that. I mean, yes, single mothers deserve love. Yes, they do. Everybody deserves love. But sometimes a lot of people are blinded by wanting love and not seeing where their child needs them. Like, they neglect it sometimes. So the fact that she was like, you know what? I'm just going to block myself to all of that, focus on my child. And now that her child is grown, I think she's like 16 or something like that. She's like, okay, I can get back into the dating scene. Girl, it's going to be hard because dating has changed. Okay? Listen, I'm 23 and I'm struggling. And this is my era for dating. So best of luck to her. I'm rooting for her. Edwin has this salt and pepper flex, and I'm here for it.
A lot of people get in relationships self-seeking. I believe a relationship is about how I can give to you to help you succeed in life, to be a better person, whatever it may be, and you do the same thing. And in turn, then we're growing together. I want somebody fun. I want somebody that I can get outdoors with. I'm an active person, and she gotta be fine.
He believes that relationships are about elevation, and it's not just give and take, give and take. It's like, how are we going to rise together? You know, we can't just be going back and forth, giving and taking, but we're at a plateau in life. So yes, let's grow together. Let's elevate. Let's level up. That's the flex. Shay is all about how a man treats her over everything. And I'm with you, girl.
Because at the end of the day, all you have is the connection, the love, the reasons that you got together. That's the anchor. That means more to me than, you know, if he's ugly, he my ugly. My ugly man treat me better than your fine.
But it's true. You ever like, you look at somebody that you like and you're like, oh man, what? But their personality and their character and their drive and, you know, all those things trump what they look like. So I'm with you, girl. I get you. Naya says she has always wanted to be a housewife and be a homemaker, and now is her time to do so.
That desire is still in me. There is a ticking clock there. Juice me up. Right now, I ain't waiting on the wedding. No marriage, God will fix that part later. But yeah, because you can always get married, but you can't always give birth.
She talks about the several miscarriages that she has had. And again, women who've been through domestic abuse, women who are divorced, women who've been through miscarriages are all women who have a soft spot in my heart, because that is so tough, especially being a woman of a particular age. Wanting to still have a family, like just knowing that it's going to be hard for you to either get pregnant or stay pregnant is, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But I'm rooting for you, girl. You gonna find your Prince Charm, but maybe not on the show, because Ready to Love is notorious for failed relationships, but you gonna get your man. I kid you not, Raymond and I look like peers. Raymond says he's 52, and quite frankly, I'm gonna need the birth certificate.
I never get women my age because they think I'm young. If it wasn't for this little gray, you know, other than that, they be looking at me like, little boy. I'm a musician. I play guitar with Tank, Genuine, Angie Stone. That guitar is how I pay the bills.
I have 5 kids, 3 girls and 2 boys.
When did you have the time to bust out all, well, he didn't bust out all those babies, but he busted something to get them babies. Like, sir, 5. Y'all, he has 5. Oh. Alex is another gorgeous, gorgeous woman. This cast is stunning.
Oh my God, dating in Houston is a nightmare. It is a joke. I wish we had, like, you know how people always talk about like the 90s R&B love, like you want that 90s love. Like, I wish we had that. It's like no one ever wants to work towards anything anymore.
Apparently her ex cheated on her a month after getting engaged. A month. Sir, you couldn't even fake the funk until the marriage. Wow. It's hard out there. I be thinking it's hard to date like my age bracket, but clearly it's hard to date even above because waist has no bounds. Lastly, we have Anthony, who feels like now is his prime time to be in a relationship.
I believe it's time for me right now to, you know, look for that one person who can handle Mr. Anthony.
Well, up here, guys don't dance, so that's how I win.
Because I know you gotta jump on the floor, jump on the floor, jump on the floor, jump on the floor.
He goes into how when he was younger, he was all about the glitz and glam and the life, you know, living the life. And now he wouldn't have been a faithful partner to begin with, but now he has come to terms with putting that life aside and settling down. And we love a man who can be honest with himself and say, yo, I was wildin', but my wildin' days are done and now I'm ready to go. So Will Packer is talking about like what we can expect from the show. And he says there are actually relationships that come out of this season, which finally, because There's only one relationship from 2 seasons that came out, and those weren't even people who ended the show together. It's stupid. It's so stupid. I was here thinking, oh, yes, a grown and sexy cast with chocolate people. Of course this is going to work out. Literally no relationships have worked out. So this season better step up. And it looks like this season is going to be hot based off of the trailer.
Ooh, I think I need one on this side.
You got to match it up.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a sausage fest, and I am famished.
By the end, only 6 people will remain.
I didn't know you was working with all that.
Surprise!
You're living with the people you're dating. Then on top of that, the people that they're dating too.
You know, like when a kid is caught with their hand in a cookie jar, his hand was in the cookie jar, and he was caught.
It was a little entanglement.
I see you over here with her, and her.
When I talk to other people, you don't like that.
Keep it cute. Nobody else matters to me. Because I'm not going to fight no chick, and I'm not going to argue and do none of that.
You fool me once, twice, 3 times. Hell no, I ain't got time for that.
That'll be messed up on your behalf. I'm not doing that. Okay, turn this off.
That has been the first impressions of the Ready to Love cast. So glad it's back. I am so glad it's back. The Bachelor is great and all, but yeah, no comment. Anyways, I'll catch you guys next week for another review. I'll see you guys then.